Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to VidaneTV. Green flag flying for heat race number 1 here tonight at the Southern National 200, the third Triple Crown event championship race here tonight. Going to be some bragging rights, little championship points action on the line, as well as a little bit of a payday at the end of this one. Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth, pushing all the buttons, yelling into the microphone, and watching some racing action here on a Tuesday night live on VidaneTV. Gotta thank everybody for tuning in all over the heckin' place. We are live all over the internet. We're over on Twitch, we're over on Facebook, we're over on YouTube as well here. Be sure to give us the like, the subscribe, the share, the follow, all that good stuff, especially over on that YouTube page, trying to get to that magic number 1,000 subscriber mark over there. Go to YouTube, do a quick search for VidaneTV. We pop right on up, and you'll have access to all 650 plus live events that we've done over the past 5 or 6 years here on VidaneTV. And taking a look right now, a couple of laps in here. Heat race 1 already. 5 laps in, 5 laps to go. Hayden Bushy holding on to the lead. Makita Giroux strongly in second with 5 laps to go when they hit to the stripe. Jake Rout there in third. Luke Shannon, Mike Marexkill back in fifth. Dominic Lafleur back in sixth. Patrick Swifter, Matt Huntington, Zachary Bermgarten. Going to be the 9 drivers in this one. 4 heat races and a consolation races, all 10 laps apiece, taking the top 5 from each, giving us a field of 25 drivers here tonight. Leader pulling away, a little bits of side-by-side action back here for third and fourth. 36, Makita Giroux able to get in front of these few drivers. Luke Shannon in the 13, Jake Kraut in the 49, up on the high side, still rocking the Christmas-like car. Oh, big slide there for the 49, up into the, closer to the outside wall there in turn number 4, gathers it back up, holds on to it, holds on to that transfer spot there. You see a couple of drivers coming off of the turn 4 there, brushing that outside wall, still side by side for that second position, but the leader, Hayden Bushy, has driven away, taking the white flag already down in 3 and 4. They make contact back in 3 and 4, or for third and fourth, as they all cross the stripe behind the leader. Hayden Bushy going to get the checkered flag in the first heat race numero uno here tonight at Southern National Speedway here for the Oil Boys Late Models National Series. And there you see the results for heat race number 1. So once again, 4 heat races, 10 laps apiece, taking the top 5 from each of those heat races. Everybody else can have an opportunity to jump back into a consolation race, 10 laps on the board, and they'll be able to try and finish in the top 10 and make their way into the big 200-lapper here tonight. Lining up that second group already here for heat race number 2 on the start-finish line. And Riley McVetti in the 25 going to be down on the bottom side. RKM Setup Shop boss Ryan Kuhn going to roll off P2 there in the 72 machine. Cambiati in the 45 going to roll off P3 once he gets hooked up. Looks like he might have missed the start of this one in the 045. Ryan Flood going to be in the 98 there on the outside line. Tegan Atkins, JD Stockwell going to make up row with 3. Casey Biotti. Looks like Casey, 2 Biottis. Okay, Casey Biotti and Cam Biotti. So Casey Biotti in the 26. Jarvis Saltau in the 17 and Stephen Rochford in the 66. So 9 drivers once again here in heat race number 2, taking the top 5 into the big 200-lapper here tonight. Everybody else going to have to race their way into the consolation race a little bit later on tonight. Once again, that'll be 10 laps. We'll be taking the top 5 from that as well. Lights out on the pace car. 2x2 all the way through. Green flag fly. And once again, heat race number 2 getting ready to rock and or roll. Ryan Kuhn making it work on that high side. He's already gone. He's checked out by 3 or 4 car lengths on that high side, getting around Riley McVetti in the number 25. He's going to hold on to that high side. Couple of cars into the outside wall towards the back of the pack. We stay green for the time being. We'll see if they can get that sorted out by the time the leaders get on around 3 wide as they thunder on down the back straightaway, showing there's a lot of different ways to get around this racetrack. A little bit of contact from McVinney in the 25. He's going to drop all the way back now to P6. Going to have to put the hammer down if he's going to make his way into this one. Once again, the 39 across the nose there. Going to be a yellow flag of the 98 car. Still green. The 98 going to grab it here and try and pull on away. There it is. Yellow flag flies here. 4 laps in. Check that. To heat race number 2. Ryan Kuhn holding on to the lead. Tegan Atkins in second. Casey Beati in third. Riley McVinney and Jarvis Sawtile holding on to the top 5 spots for the time being. I want to thank everybody for tuning in once again here this evening, live all over the place. Got a lot of stuff going on here in the 2026 calendar year with the sim racing world as well as the real racing world. We're trying to bridge the gap here at VidaneTV. That's kind of the mission statement from 5 or 6 years ago when we started this whole deal. We want to make sure that there's a way for the real racers to come mess around on the sim rig and vice versa. So we like being able to kind of have that little spot in the community. And lots of real racing stuff going on here. I've actually been sick the past couple of weeks, so I've been home since Daytona. New Year's Eve has been Daytona for Kart Week. It's been a week down there. That was a whole lot of fun. Had a couple of weeks off from the real racing stuff myself, and then we're going to be heading down to All Tech Raceway in Lake City, Florida here in a couple of weeks' time for the Sunshine Showdown. Heading to Auburndale after that for some Inix and some Bandolero Legends and Bandolero racing after that. I believe there's a UARA show in there that I'm working down in Auburndale at one point or another. So lots of cool stuff going on, and lots of really cool ways to kind of bridge that gap between real racing and sim racing. We've been trying to put more and more of that real racing content up on the social media, so be sure to give us the likes, the shares, the subscribes, the follows, all that good stuff, and let us know who you want to see up on our social media outlets. We got that little bit of a stage. We've got the technology. We can get that up there. We can talk to, anybody you want to here at VidaneTV. Pace car down on the safety of pit road once again. Little green-white checkered action here for heat race number 2. Ryan Kuhn, great restart once again in that number 72. He's able to pull away and clear by about a car length, 2, maybe 3 or 4 now, heading in to the other side of the racetrack, crossing the stripe, taking that white flag, a white rag, 1 lap to go. They're side by side for second, all chasing that 72 car of Ryan Kuhn. It doesn't look like there's going to be too much of a battle for that 5th position as they take the checkered flag, and the 72 car going to get himself a victory here for heat race numero 2. We'll take a look at the finishing order. There you see Ryan Kuhn, Casey Beati, Tegan Atkins, the top 3 in that one. Riley McVinney, Stephen Rochford going to transfer in to the 200 lapper here later on tonight. Everybody else, they've got one more chance. Try and get into that consolation race coming up here in just a few moments' time. So there you can see heat race number 3 getting lined up on the front straightaway. Brandon Lambert in the 77 going to take these drivers to the checkered, or to the green flag rather. Justin Prescott in the 04 car going to start on the outside of row number 1. Kyle Goodbout, Carter Atwood there in row number 2. Race control is being scored as P5, but they won't be racing in this one. Ty Delphia, Paxton Call, and Gary Wheeler going to be the 7 drivers rounding this one out. And once again, going to be taking the top 5 into the main event of the evening here tonight. 200 laps at Southern National Speedway. One more heat race after this, the consolation, then that 200 lapper coming up. So lots of great racing action here on VidaneTV on a Tuesday night. We're back at it this Thursday with the NEP Series. Racing trucks. I believe we're at Bristol. It'll be an interesting race. Before we get there, though, we have to crown ourselves a Triple Crown champ tonight. The points are tight. We'll take a look at those here later on in the evening. And then one more race to crown the overall season champion. Crazy to think that this season is almost over and done with. One more race after this week at New Smyrna. I believe that is in 2 weeks' time. I will have to double check on that date. I believe it might be February 3rd. We'll have to double check. I believe that, actually, I think 2 weeks' time is February 3rd. We had mentioned, been sick the past couple of weeks. Life's a blur. Real racing, sim racing, it's all the same. Green flag flies once again. Handful of cars out on track. 7 of them to be exact. Brandon Lambert able to pull away by just a little bit. They're side by side for second. The 92 of Goodbow down to the bottom side. He is, I believe, in the lead for the Triple Crown points. Now that we mention it, he is trying to get himself to lead to heat race number 3 with 9 laps to go. And then the 3 and 4, all the way down to the bottom side of the racetrack, able to make it hold. Gets that race car to stick down to the bottom side. He is able to complete that pass on the 77 of Brandon Lambert. And it looks like the 04 was going to try and follow him on through. Nothing quite there. You see Kyle Goodbow, 0.340. A quick time so far here in heat race number 3. And he's pulling away by a couple of car lengths over second and third. A lot of these short tracks are momentum-based. You can see Goodbow starting to get into a rhythm, able to knock another 10th off of his lap time that last time by. As he's getting quicker, everybody else is getting side by side. They are slamming into each other back for that transfer spot. Third, fourth, and fifth are having themselves a doozy of a three-way fight. The 13 holding on to that fourth position right now. It's Idelphia. There you see Gary Wheeler scored in the 11. He's the other 92 car back here. He's got that transfer spot right now. They've got it all sorted out. For the time being, leader driving away. Second and third seems to be the closest battle on track. Just as I say that, third and fourth starting to tighten up just a little bit. But we are indeed single file here with 3 laps to go at the line. Still chasing Kyle Goodbow in that 92 car. He's been pretty quick in these late models throughout the past handful of weeks and months that we've been following these Oil Boys Late Model National Series. And there you can see, going to get popsicle sticks from Barney in the flag stand at 2 laps to go here at Southern National. And there you see it one more time around through 3 and 4. Easy money for Kyle Goodbow in the 92 car. The 77 getting a little bit of a push there from Idelphia in the 13, letting him know he's there. But checkered flag flies. There's a little bit of a fist bump there to the 04 car, as it were. We'll take a look at those results as they happen. There you see it. Goodbow on top. Prescott and Lambert going to be the top 3. Delphia and Wheeler going to be the transfer cars. Moving on to the 200 lapper. Call Atwood and, well, race control. They're going to have to shoot on over to that consolation race if they're going to want to try and make the 200 lapper here tonight. So as I recall, one more heat race, one more consi, and then we get rolling once again. And as soon as I say that, we change things up just a little bit. We're going to get into consolation racing. And then into the features. So one last heat race here this evening. Dominic LaFleur in the 03 car going to roll off P1. Jarvis Sawtile in the 72 is going to be the 62 car there on your screen. He's going to roll off P2. There you see row number 2, Paxton Call, Matt Huntington. As they've got J.D. Stockwell in the, should be the 45. Looks like he's in the 39 car. Casey Atwood in the 32. And Ryan Flood back in the 98 car. So I believe it was top 5 make it. Looks like there are 7 drivers out on track. Everybody else going to miss the drop of the green flag. One of those drivers being race control, doing the job that none of us want to do. Nobody wants to do race control. That is, you always get yelled at. I'm not, I don't do well when I get yelled at. So shout out to whomever's doing race control this evening. I like pushing buttons and yelling into the microphone. I think I'm a little bit better than that. Better at that than I am doing race control. But here we are. Lights off of the iRacing non-manufacturer specific pace car. 2x2, 7 cars out there going for those 5 spots here in the main event of the evening, the Southern National 200, the triple third event in the Triple Crown Championship. Going to be crowning a championship for that. Some bragging rights, some money on the line, as well as getting closer and closer to the overall season championship. 2 more weeks, and we're going to be running our last race here, the New Smyrna 150 on VidaneTV. I believe the date for that is February 3rd. Green flag flies on the console. Last chance for romance. Last chance to get into the show here tonight. Carter Atwood trying to make the magic happen in the 32 car, but having some struggles, it looks like, with the handling of that car. The 03 and the 2 up in the front. They've got it sorted out. The 03's got it sorted out in any sense. The 2 has himself a bumper full of the 62 and the 39. And they are not around. They hold on to it. How about that? Heads up driving by everybody involved in that one. A little bit of hurt feelings, it looks like, but we stay clean, we stay green. Consolation race, 8 laps to go. Dominic Lafleur holding on to the lead. He has got himself a lead as well. 7/10 of a second over that second place car, P2. Paxton Call in the number 2 car. And you can see Matt Huntington in that 99 P3. He's the quickest car out there with a 14.306 last time by. He's got 7 laps. Check that, 6 laps to try and make up a little bit of ground. That time by, it was going to be the 3 car, though. That's going to be the leader at 271. So these guys finding speed as we get later and later on into these runs. We get a little heat into the tires, a little bit of heat into the racetrack surface, and we might be getting ourselves some racing action here going on in the Southern National 200. Tonight, you can see they're trying to get a little squirrely there for second place. This is all about a second and a half behind the leader. Huntington in the 99 going down to the bottom side. And Lafleur, our leader, once again, the quickest that time by 267 in the 14th second. Whoa, big slide there for the 99 as they cross the stripe. Going to be 3 laps to go that time by. And once again, the leader's gone. Dominic Lafleur is about a second and a half in front of all of this. He's more than likely going to be bumping in to a little bit of lap traffic, potentially. Take a peek at him. Nope, he is Sunday cruising out in that 3 car. You can see the 99 of Huntington has completed the pass. He's going to hold on to second. J.D. Stockwell now in the 39 car P3. Paxton Call going to drop back just a little bit. You can see he's got some damage there on the right front. Ryan Flood holding on to the transfer spot currently in at that 98 car. Carter Atwood just a little bit further on back as Dominic Lafleur going to take the white flag, a white rag. Nope, that's going to be the checkered that time by. He had himself such a lead that, well, we didn't lose track of him. We knew where he was. Just didn't know how quick he was going to get there. Checkered flag flies for that 03 car. We will take a peek at the results as the sun starts to set, the lights start to come on, and we get ready for main event time of the evening. There you can see Dominic Lafleur, Matt Huntington, and J.D. Stockwell going to finish on the podium. Paxton Call, Ryan Flood going to transfer on in. Everyone else going to have to watch either at home or at the shop here on VidaneTV. As we are live all over the place. We're live on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Twitch, on Twitter, all that good stuff. Give us a like, the share, the subscribes. All the love. Let your friends and family know you're watching some iRacing action here on a Tuesday night. Got to give a shout out to Caden Tufts tuning in the chat. He actually just hooked us up with our 20-year anniversary logo here for VidaneTV. We haven't been doing the TV deal for 20 years, but Vidane as a brand has been around for that long. We started out as a super speedway league back in the NASCAR Heat days, believe it or not. Went through NASCAR Racing 2003 season and then ended up coming in to the iRacing world, and the rest is history. But big time shout out to Caden, longtime supporter and good buddy of ours here at VidaneTV. Does good work too. Hit him up if you need a logo or a paint scheme. Caden Tufts Designs over on the Facebooks and the Twitters and all that good stuff. I think he's got a Discord too. We don't know if that information is public or not. Quick little warm-up section. These guys got about 5 minutes or so to get out on track and get themselves reset, ready to rock and roll. Make sure that they know where their pit stalls are, where their crew's going to be hooking them up here for the evening. Got to thank everybody once again for tuning in and supporting all season long here with the Oil Boys Late Model National Series. Lots of sponsors came in and supported this series and really kind of shows that, you know, we like doing this sim racing deal during these cold winter months. It keeps everybody on their toes. as far as the drivers, the crew guys, the track workers, the announcers, the TV guys, hell, the cameramen. It's just a neat way to really kind of bridge the gap between real racing and sim racing, and it keeps everybody on their toes, keeps everybody in good practice here as well. So got to thank everybody once again for all the support over the past handful of years. Lots of cool stuff going on in the near future here on VidaneTV. Got a lot of phone calls and a lot of emails that I've got to get done this week because it seems like things are getting ready to rock and roll in a big way. Lots of schedules starting to get announced, and things are really starting to kind of fall into place, as it were, here at VidaneTV. So looking forward to 2026, looking forward to getting out to the racetrack, looking forward to crossing some of these Northeast tracks off my list. I'm from Connecticut myself. I've been to Stafford, but I haven't been to Lime Rock. I haven't been to Thompson yet. I went to Waterford a couple of times. I haven't been to really any of the short tracks up in Vermont or New Hampshire. I went to Lee a couple of times back in the day. I still have to get to Oxford, so I know there's a lot of Northeast tracks that are kind of supported with these guys and the NEP guys on Thursday nights. A lot of those guys run at the New England tracks as well as Jennerstown. That's another track I've got to get to this year. Just neat being able to get out to the real racetrack and be recognized for the sim racing deal. I actually got a message from Tim Terry a couple days ago. Said he recognized, or somebody recognized him from VidaneTV, which was kind of neat. He was one of the fellows that ran I believe it was the Full Velocity League that ran with us a couple of years back. So it was always kind of neat to be able to have that recognition, whether it's at the racetrack or not, somewhere in a racing neighborhood or a racing town, as it were. And always cool to be able to meet up with friends and fans and supporters of the sim racing deal. So if you see us at the track, be sure to give us a hi, give us a wave, give us a fist bump, and just don't get offended when we don't know who you are right off the rip, because we do a lot with voices. We don't do a lot with faces here on the internet. So always introduce and always willing to share a chat with a fellow race fan. Final warm-up for these drivers. See most of these guys parked on pit road. They're ready to rock and roll. A couple other drivers, final adjustments. You can see that sunset going down in turn number 1. That's going to be a bear to deal with, I think, for the first part of this race. But the glory of the iRacing service now, with the dynamic weather, the dynamic time of day and all that stuff, that sun will actually go down as we get further on into the night. So good news there for these drivers. And it appears that timing and scoring doesn't want to tell us how long we've got. That tells me the timer may very well be at 0. Indeed it is. We're going to get ready to get these drivers lined up on the start-finish line on the front straightaway. And you can see, well, that sun glare may no longer be an issue. Wow, look at that sunset. There is nothing, whether it's simulated or not, there is nothing better than a racetrack sunset. That is gorgeous. Let's take a look at the starting lineup here at the virtual Southern National Speedway. I don't think that is correct. It might be. We're going to go through the graphic anyway. I'm not sure if it's correct, but here we go. Hayden Bushi going to roll off P1. I don't think so. I don't think that is nearly correct at all. Let's take a look. And for some reason, we are still showing warm-up times. Now timing and scoring will update once it crosses the line, it seems like. One of those deals, we have the updates with iRacing that come out, and then Windows will come out with an update, and then the scoring program will come out with an update, and then this will come out with an update, and then Notepad will come out, and nothing ever communicates with each other. It's incredibly frustrating. But in any sense, we bring the action to you live. We'll get all the drivers out on the field here. Looks like a solid 25-car field here once again. Again, a Triple Crown event, the third of the Triple Crown events. Going to be giving away a little bit of money, a little bit of points, a little bit of bragging rights at the end of this one. iRacing pace car going to take them around one more time. And it looks like that graphic was correct. How about that? Every once in a while. Hayden Bushy going to roll off P1. Ryan Kuhn on the outside. Kyle Goodbout, Luke Shannon, Casey Beati going to be the top 5. As the pace car more than likely going to be pulling off this time by Indeed We Do. We're going to be taking the green flag. Prescott, Giroux, Atkins, Lambert, and Grout, the top 10. As they start, green flag flies. We are racing for the Southern Nationals 200 here in the virtual world. iRacing on a Tuesday night, the Oil Boys Late Model National Series. Crazy to think one more race to go here at New Smyrna for this series, and we will be putting a cap on this at 72 car fast wherever we seem to go. Ryan Kuhn up front after starting in P2. Caden Bush going to roll back to P2. As you can see, the 92 of Goodbout is there after a solid heat race earlier on. Ryan Kuhn with the quick time already. Is that a cinnamon? It is a Cinnamon Toast Crunch car for the 92. These guys beating and banging back here for just outside of 5th. There's the 36 of Makita Giroux down the bottom side. Prescott in the 04 car trying to make that magic happen up top. Nothing quite there. A 242 though for Ryan Kuhn up front, already pulling away by about a half a second as we get into this one. Just going to take these drivers a couple of laps to get the tires warmed up, get everything ready to rock and roll for these long green flag runs. We've seen that there's been a lot of drivers out here practicing here in final practice tonight before we came on the air, as well as last night in the open practice, that these drivers were able to get out there and turn some laps with the setup. It's a fixed setup league put together, the setup put together by RKM Setup Shop here. And those guys have really been kind of dominating here with the podium finishes here on VidaneTV. It's not to say that it's their setup, it's just they've got so many laps in that group. Ryan Kuhn with RKM Setup Shop and all of his drivers and teammates as well. They turn a lot of laps here at iRacing. They need to know exactly what these cars and trucks are going to do on these long green flag runs, on the short green flag runs, and what they kind of adjustments they can potentially maybe make. So they have to test everything out and do all the homework and figure it all out, put it all on paper, and, well, then test it all over again as we kind of go through the field here. You can see Riley McVetti in the 25 car holding on to a top 10, 23 drivers in the field here at this one. We take a peek. Here's Didelphia and the number 3 of Mike Marcusville, Gary Wheeler back here. A little trade and paint action between the 92 and the 3, but they keep it pointed in the right direction. Back up front, Ryan Kuhn still holding on to the lead in the number 72 car. Kyle Goodbout in behind him and the 92 teammates. Luke Shannon in the 13 holding on to the 3rd spot. Hayden Bushy going to drop from the pole back to that P4 in the 15. Car still looks really good. You can see he's pulled away. There's about a 1.5 gap between 1st and 4th. Justin Prescott a little bit further on back. About 2.1 seconds back, it looks like, in that 04 car. Makita Giroux in the 36, trying to close up in the back bumper. They're still side by side, the 7s and the 8s. Brandon Lambert, Tegan Atkins holding on to 8th and 9th, duking it out. Riley McVetti in the 25, still right in behind him. He's got a front row seat to this battle. You can see the sunset putting off a nice orange glow on these race cars. We'll ride on board with our 2nd place driver, Kyle Goodbout. You can already see lap traffic for the leader of the 72, Ryan Kuhn, beginning to be an issue. Bright green gloves there. You can see a little bit of sun glare looking off into turn number 1. We may mention that's going to be affecting these drivers for a little bit, for at least the first portion of the race. As the race goes on, the sun's going to get a little bit darker, and, well, things get darker when the sun goes down. As you can see, the 92, it looks like he's starting starting to close the gap on that 72 of Ryan Kuhn just a little bit. And that's going to be big because, as we see, nice wide out zoomed, or nice wide out roof shot here. The 72 getting right up to the back bumper of some lap traffic. Going to go up to the high side, let him on through. Didn't really want to affect the outcome of the race. You can see they're side by side up in front, but there's still a little bit of time to get there. It's going to be Ryan Flood, it looks like, in the 98 car. This is going to be the first car to go one lap down. You can see he was able to stick right with the 92 car, drop back just a little bit. It did look like there was a bit of damage on the right front of that machine. So not quite the night the 98 was looking for. Looks like he is going to gain a spot, though, on the 2 car. Paxton Call going to drop down to pit road. And see if he can get some service to that virtual machine. As you can see, now closing in on the 24, indeed it is, of Zachary Baumgartner. Good looking paint scheme on the 24 car. Black and pink with the chrome numbers. That's got a little scuff mark, a little yellow paint there on the passenger side, but still a good looking paint scheme. Up on the outside wall again for the 24 car. Struggling with the handling, as some of the drivers are here this evening. This is one of those tricky racetracks as well. You really want to try and come down and get tires as quickly as you can. We saw Ryan Kuhn with a quick time earlier on with a 14.24. That was maybe 20 laps or so ago. Last time by, when he crosses the stripe that time, it was a 14.7. So leaders about a half a second slower than they were 20 laps ago. These drivers know they're going to have to stop at least a handful of times for fuel, but they're definitely going to want to take tires. And one of the things with these late model teams and with the late models on iRacing, the pit crews aren't quite as quick as some of the pit crews that you would see with the Cup or the truck teams. So you're not necessarily going to get yourself a quick pit stop. You want to keep an eye on it too, because you don't want the pace car to come on around and drive on by you as you're on pit road getting tires. So that's going to be one of the things that drivers are going to have to keep an eye on. And you can take a look now, little side by side. Oh, little touch battle. They hold on to it until they don't. Mike Mack still around in the 3 car. I believe that'll pull off that'll bring in the caution flag. It does not. Now it does. That's a tough call. When you're right at the entrance of pit road like that, you always want to try and pull down and avoid pulling a caution flag out. But in any sense, saw it live. We'll take a peek at it again. He was side by side with the 56 car. 56 comes up just a bit of a skosh, gets into the corner panel there. Almost had it saved getting on in, but fortunately just down and around, a little bit of a lazy spin down into the marbles into pit road. Doesn't look like there's any damage on that 3 car of Mike Mackiskill, so good news there. See if he comes down to get some tires and potentially get some of the virtual sheet metal taken care of on that number 3 car. Looks like he's actually going to be the first car 1 lap down. So we'll see what happens with him. Back up front, though, still Ryan Kuhn holding on to the lead. Kyle Goodbout, Luke Shannon, Hayden Bushi back to 4th. Justin Prescott, the top 5. Makita Giroux, Jake Grout, Tegan Atkins, Riley McVetti, Ty Delphia, the top 10. As they get settled in, it looks like Brandon Lampert 11th, Dominic LaFleur 12th, Matt Huntington, Jervis Sawtile, Gary Wheeler the top 15, JD Stockwell, Casey Biotti, Stephen Rochford, Carter Atwood, all out there, and Zachary Baumgartner going to get the free pass and the 24 back on the lead lap. That actually gives us 20 cars on the lead lap. 3 of Mike Mackiskill and the 98 of Ryan Flood, both 1 lap down. And the only car out of the race so far going to be the number 2 of Paxton Call. I think he retired 12 laps ago. Pace car down in the safety of pit road once again. Green, green, green. Ryan Kuhn getting what he needs to out of the restart. You can see he and his teammate get it figured out. They get it sorted out. They are 1 and 2, and they're single file. Almost single file, it looks like, for 3rd and 4th. Luke Shannon, Hayden Bushi battling it out just a little bit. Look at the Hornet's Nest in behind for 5th on back. catching up. We did some upgrades with the software here at VidaneHQ, and it looks like we've finally got all of the chat messages in the same spot. So I'm actually able to follow along without having to jump around 63 different screens, which is kind of neat. And I'm being told, MKelly802 tells me it's pronounced Macaskill, not Macaskill. I'll work on that. I'll add it to the post-it note. It usually takes about 3 or 4 seasons for me to get all the names right. There's always 1 or 2 that I jumble up. But we'll get it sorted out at one point or another. Having a solid race here. A little bit of a couple of drivers up to the marbles as the caution flag gonna fly. Riley McVetti pointed in the wrong direction. Looks like he was heading down in the garage area. And that 25 car might be Dunzo. Nope. Gonna grab that reverse gear and maybe come back out. There we go. Come down pit road and see if we can get that thing fixed. See what happened to Riley. Heck of a spot to be pointed in the wrong direction. Focus in that 25 car. Gets down, looks like the 3 loose, and then has to check up. The 39 had nowhere to really go there. 25, right into the stink barrels. That's a big hit for the 25 car. 39 did a great job hammering down, getting that thing to not hit anything. Grab that gear, get rolling once again. So the 39 of J.D. Stockwell rolling once again. Looks like the 25 of McVetti able to get going again as well here. There's 3. Macaskill going to get the free pass. Rejoin the lead lap in that number 3 car. So that'll give us the 19 cars. 19 cars on the lead lap. With 159 laps to go. Green flag once again. There you see the iLM Setup Shop duo driving themselves into a single file line. They get it sorted out. They're side by side for third. Giroux in the 36 car up on the high side. Luke Shannon in the 13 down on the bottom. Shannon trying to hold on to that yellow line all the way down on the bottom side. Just kidding. There's no yellow line down there. Trying to use that apron. Oh, little sideways contact. They touch doors. Ooh, connection issue there for, it looked to be the 36. He comes back, holds on to the spot right now, currently barely in third place on that high side. And you can see there's a couple of different lines you can get around this racetrack here at Southern National. Luke Shannon trying to hold on down to the bottom. Mike Giroux up on the top side in the 36, trying to make that magic happen. It's dropping back slightly. You saw the last couple of laps by, just kind of slapped that outside wall and kind of slowed the momentum of the 36 car. Now you can see it open the door down on that bottom side. 13 of Shannon is through the 04 of Prescott, trying to kick the door down as well, get himself in. Oh, connection issue again. It looks like that's going to be something to have to keep an eye on throughout the rest of this race. I know we've had a lot of snow here in the northeast area. We got a random 8 inches of snow here in southern Connecticut. Not even sure where it came from. It wasn't in the forecast, I don't think. But in any sense, I'm not a weatherman. You know, I'm a race car man, so here we are. Duking it out just outside the top 5. The front 3 have it all sorted out. And you can see they are kind of driving off into that sunset there in turn number 1. Really able to kind of get into these long green flag rhythm runs here with these drivers. The iLM Setup Shop putting together a great setup. And there's some groups that you know, they do understand that they set up the cars and they got a lot of practice in them and such like that. But you got to figure too, those guys have a lot of laps in the iRacing sim. Just having to know what that setup's going to do throughout a 10 lap run, a 50 lap run, a 500 lap run. So A lot of laps out there, and it's a lot more than I can handle. I did the sim racing thing for about 20 years. I never was good at it at all, so decided to start yelling into a microphone. I guess we're doing okay at that. as here we are on a Tuesday night, we're yelling at some iRacing late models here. Is the caution flag gonna fly? Looks like it might have been a little bit further in the back this time. That 24 car. I love that paint scheme on that 24 of Zachary Baumgarten. Might have been because of the issue. Sliding through on back, I'm not seeing. Usually we have a little program that tells us what caution was, but for one reason or another, again, with those updates, not working. Frustrating. But in any sense, caution flag flies once again here at Southern National Speedway. Thanks again for tuning in here tonight. VidaneTV's coverage of the Oil Boys Late Model National Series. Final race in the Triple Crown Championship. One more race to go in the overall season championship. Going to be back here 2 weeks' time for the New Smyrna 150. Got to hook up with the racetrack New Smyrna as the 98 going to come around and get the free pass, rejoin the lead lap. It's going to be Ryan Flood, giving us 20 drivers now on the lead lap. Got to go up with the folks over at New Smyrna. We did their World Series during the COVID months. That was an interesting ordeal. One of the races you can see over on the VidaneTV YouTube page. Be sure to shoot on over there. Give it a like, a subscribe, a share. Mainly a subscribe. Trying to get that magical 1,000 subscription number over on the YouTube page so we can hand out some t-shirts and some hats and all sorts of cool merchandise that we're working on here in the probably early spring, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's going to be early spring once we get the new merch rocking and rolling. Green flag flying once again. Not quite a start we're used to seeing out of these RKM setup shop guys. You got a couple of drivers right on their back bumper. Ryan Kuhn going to slide on up in front of the 92 car of Goodbout. Goodbout's going to slide up and open the door for Shannon in the 13 car down on the bottom side. More connections issues again for the 36 at Giroux. They're going to have to keep an eye on that because you don't want that to affect any of the race outcome. Luke Shannon down on the bottom side, and every time he blinks out like that, he's looking out his windows and seeing everybody else disappear. So that's going to be something you see. They're close racing right now. Oh, up into the outside wall for the 36 at Giroux. Not having a good, frustrating is a good word to put in behind the steering wheel there of the 36. When you've got the connection issues, now you've got the handling issues. You're up into the outside wall. You've slapped it a couple of times now. Really starts to break your train of thought, break your momentum up. And oh, by the way, there's cars passing you down on the inside. There's the 04 of Prescott. Going to get down on through. He's going to try and follow into the tire tracks. Oh, goodness gracious. Got a little bit squirrely there as he almost got quartered by that 36 car. Was able to get down and away. The 04 of Prescott going to slide up the inside. Here comes the 49 of Grout down on the bottom side. Saw the door open, decided he'd come on through and get himself a Christmas plate of leftovers, as he is down on the inside of Prescott, going to try and take over that third, fourth position. Top two have driven off into the sunset. Luke Shannon there, you can see just a little bit in front of this side-by-side duo. And it is a massive battle in behind for everybody, sixth on back. Prescott able to complete the pass on the outside with a little bit of help from Atkins in that 88. Oh, a little bit of a slide there as they get a push and a little bit of a shove from the 49 of Grout. They get it sorted out. and they keep going. There's Casey Beati in the 45 car. Got a front row seat of all of that action. Makita Drew going to drop back to this other pack. You can see there's some big-time damage in the right front of that 36 machine. He's now side-by-side with the 13 at Philadelphia. Atkins and Groot still side-by-side. You can see Prescott still trying to make that middle to high groove work. Nothing quite there, though, in that 04. Just trying to hold on. You can see he's going to slide on down in front of Grout as they're side-by-side behind them. Slamming into each other, trying to get up into that top 5, doing everything that they can. A little bit single file from maybe 8th on back to about 15th. There's the 66 of Rochford getting out of shape in the 66, but gets it sorted out. 15 Hayden Bushi started up front all the way back here to 12th. JD Stockwell, Dominic Lafleur back here. Oh, trouble for the 36 of Giroux. The 3 is involved as well. That is going to bring out the caution flag once again. Not what the 36 car was looking for here at Southern National. We'll back up the instant replay, take a peek at it. And you can see there's a little bit of damage on that 36 all the way around, especially on that right front. It just kind of looked like a couple of drivers going for that same outside line, and, well, two physical objects can't occupy the same spot. And there you can see a couple of drivers getting down through, trying to avoid the incident. Got some assistance from behind. There you see the 36 of Drew going to come down pit road, get some tires for the first time this race. Everybody out there on 75 lap old tires, you got to wonder, is this the time to come down pit road and get those tires? Survey says no. Just getting to be about halfway in this one, 25 laps or so shy of it. Shoot on over to VidaneTV/DoorDash. Get yourself some food and some nom-noms and some drinks ordered up. Be here by the time the checkered flag drops. You'll have it in time for DoorDash Victory Lane. We'll save $8 off your first 4 orders. Add that all up. That's $32. We're going to save you here at VidaneTV. Scan that QR code with your smartphone or tablet as well. Get it hooked up, or you shoot it on over to the website, VidaneTV/DoorDash. Here we go once again. Green flag flying. Ryan Kuhn down on the bottom side. Kyle Goodbout up on the high side. 124 laps to go. Check that, 123. Little squirrely down in the back, but it looks like they got it sorted out. Ripping and gripping, as it were. Ryan Kuhn able to get himself away by a couple of car lengths. They're side by side for second. Luke Shannon making an attack down on the bottom side in the 13 car, trying to get around Kyle Goodbout to see if he can set his sights on that leader, maybe lead himself a handful of laps. There's the 04 car of Prescott on the high side, still side by side with Jake Grout in that Christmas-colored 49 car. 49 down on the bottom side, going to slide back just a little bit into the grasp of Tegan Atkins in the 88. 88 car trying to make it work up on the high side. He dropped back just a little bit that time. Not quite what he wanted to do. You can see it almost looks like he's trying to get down to the bottom side, but not quite able to. The 45 of Beati is there as well. Ooh, the 32 car off the pace. Carter Atwood going to grab a gear, get rolling once again. We stay clean and green. Big time damage, though, for that 32. See if they come down pit road, maybe get some of that repaired. That is a tough break for the Carter Atwood camp. Gonna drop back to P19, at least a lap down, potentially 2. If he does get that thing down to pit road, and see if they can get it serviced, as it were. And there you see Prescott still trying to make that outside line work in P5. Out in the distance, you can see Ryan Kuhn not quite pulling away as far as he was the last run here. You gotta wonder if he's got a couple of sandbags in the trunk, or if he's just kind of taking it easy because he knows it's a long way to go. 115 laps to go here at the stripe. Gonna have to make at least one pit stop for fuel. Do you take tires, and if you do, how many? JD Stockwell around, going to come bring out the caution flag in that 39 car. Pointed in the wrong direction, but he does indeed grab a gear, get rolling once again. Quick look at the instant replay. No contact, just kind of lost it. Back into the race car, came on around. Lose a bunch of track position for that 39 car. You can see you're going to have to restart back in the tail end of the pack. There you can see some of the leaders coming down pit road. There's Luke Shannon in the 13 car. Not many leaders coming down. Casey Biotti stayed out, looks like. Luke Shannon is on pit road. Ryan Flood is not. Mike Macasill down on pit road. So only one of the lead lap cars. The 36 of Giroux going to go around and get a free pass. So that'll put the 36 car back on the lead lap. So very interesting. One driver up in the top 5, top 10 came down to get tires here. Just 11 laps shy of halfway. We'll have to see what Luke Shannon's lap times look like coming up through the field here. Gotta wonder, maybe he's putting tires on now so he doesn't have to put tires on later. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different strategies that go into these short track pit stops, especially these longer races. Being a Triple Crown event, this is 200 laps, whereas it would usually only be 125, 150. So these guys know 10 laps away from halfway, they can make it at least 100 laps. Got to make it that second 100. Here we go. Green flag once again, side by side down into turn number 1. Ryan Kuhn on the bottom. Up on the high side, just kidding. They're going to sort it out single file, or are they? Yes, they are. Good about going to tuck into the tire tracks of the 72. Ryan Kuhn. Jake Grout, another one of those RKM setup shop drivers. He's trying to find his way onto the podium and get that third position. The 04, though, Prescott not making it easy on that high side. There you can see the 45 of Biotti having a solid run in that 45 car, moving his way quietly on in, up into the top 5. Getting close to that podium. Setting his sights on the back bumper of the 49 car. Wants a piece of that podium. Wants a piece of the checkered flag here as well. Wants to get one of these trophies from one of these wants to make sure one of these RKM guys doesn't come home with the trophy. Couple of rumblings from folks that you know, the RKM setup shop guys, they build the setups, they win the races. Well, they turn a lot of laps in the iRacing deal. There's a lot of all of the setup builders really that are out there. There's a lot of folks that are out there. They just really have a lot of time to put in there, and well, that's how they make the magic happen. And they're putting on a clinic here. Whoa, big slide there back for Prescott in the 04 car. Great save, but that's one of the downsides of being stuck on that high side. You'd have a big slide like that, all of a sudden you find yourself back in 9th place, and you're going to have to drive around all these cars once again. You can see he's back with the 92 of Wheeler, and he's still on that high side trying to make it happen. Could have been a whole lot worse for the 04 car, but it could have been a whole lot better. And you can see as we get around the racetrack, for the most part, single file. And we've seen this happen quite a few times here in the Oil Moys Late Model National Series. These guys are really putting on a good short track racing clinic here for us. They kind of put us, easy enough for me to say, they bring us to school with these short track deals. There's a lot of different ways. You have to bide your time as we just hit the halfway mark here. 100 down, 100 laps to go here at Southern Nationals. Couple of drivers up into the outside wall, duking it out for position. This is just about the second half, I believe, of the top 10. There's Huntington in the 99 up on the high side. One of the cool things about this virtual racetrack, there's so many different ways around the racetrack. There's a lot of different lines you can use. You can go all the way down to the bottom side. Up on the high side, you can be in the middle. One of the things, oh, the 15 car is around. Looks like he might have had some help. Caution flag flies with 98 laps to go. Yeah, pit stops. It seems like everybody wanted to make it to that halfway marker before they came down pit road. They wanted to make sure that they could guarantee that they could make it. We're going to sit right on this camera here because this is what I was talking about earlier on. It takes a long time for these teams to change tires. You can see there's the pace car. Everybody down and away has only changed 2 tires so far. Everybody down on pit road, they're either changing 4 or they've been down there and they're trying to get some repairs made. There you can see Macaskull in the 3 gets a free pass. It looks like going to be back on the lead lap. But there's a handful of drivers that are coming off pit road now that are going to be trapped a lap down or 2. It's like Riley McVeigh, Carter Atwood, Justin Prescott in the 04, Gary Wheeler, and Ryan Flood. As pace car is going to come around, you might see some of these drivers come back down and get the other side changed out. There you see there's, I believe, 5th place coming down. They will boogie on and get caught back up with the pace car, whose lights are out, and it's a little bit different up front after those pit stops because a handful of drivers stayed out. Matt Huntington in the 99 stayed out, as did Dominic LaFleur in the 03. Green flag flies once again. Differing strategies up in the top 10. There's Giroux in the 36. He's back up into the top 5. A little bit of a slide there on the bottom, but got that strategy worked out. He's rolling P5 down on the bottom side. The 3 is there. There's Ryan Kuhn trying to make it 3 wide up in the middle, up to the outside wall. Goes the 62 car. Holds on to P3 right now, does Jarvis Sotile. But you can see that car not handling as well as he'd like it to. He has the 36 up high. He's got the 92 down low, and they both want to get by. You can see they are all over the back bumper of that car trying to get around him the quickest way possible. 90 to go at the stripe. Luke Shannon in the 13 car holding on to the lead. Matt Huntington in second. Kyle Goodbout there. The 92 back in third. We can tell you Luke Shannon came down pit road 22 laps ago. Matt Huntington has not been down pit road. Everybody else up in the top 10 battling it out has been down pit road at least one time, except for that 3 car. Dominic Fleur has been out there gaining that track position with that little bit of, or with that tire wear that he's got right now. 88 laps to go. And what a dogfight. Watching the 72 try and get through the crowd here as he came down pit road to get some fresh tires underneath that last caution flag. Jumbled up the top 4, 5, top 10 really all the way throughout the running order. Casey Biotti up in the 45 car in front of the black and green duo. There's the 72 of Ryan Kuhn down on the bottom side, the 99 of Huntington. He's going to drop back a spot. Kuhn going to take a peek down on the low side of Biotti in the 45 car. You saw Biotti up, get a little trade and paint action with that outside wall. Didn't look like it slowed him down any. Luke Shannon had I don't know if he slowed down at all that time by or if Kyle Goodbout was just that much quicker. But it seemed like Goodbout just turned down to the bottom side of the racetrack and almost passed the 13 of Shannon like he was standing still. Give that lap back to the 92 of Goodbout. Biotti right there, though, ready to pounce in that 45 car if these top 2 were to make a mistake. Side-by-side door handle for that second position. Biotti down in the bottom side. He is trying to get around Luke Shannon in the bottom side. Doing everything in his power to try and make it work, and he's also got a mirror full of Ryan Kuhn in that 72 car, trying to take over the podium, trying to take over that lead once again. And you can see those front 4 have pulled away by a little bit. Caution flag going to fly once again. See if we can get this dang instant replay button to work the way it's supposed to. A little bit further on back in the field, the 15 and the 39. Oh, there you see the Wheeler machine up into the outside wall there. The 04 Prescott looks like just trying to avoid him. Avoid him? Easy enough for me to say. Avoid. Well, as we back that up one more time. Give it to you in full song. Yeah, the 04 just kind of into the back bumper there of the 92. Sent him on around. I'm sure there's more to that story. You don't ever just kind of send a guy. In the wrestling world, they call that a receipt. So, a couple of guys down on pit road once again. It doesn't look like anybody in the top 10 has been down. Kyle Goodbout holding on to the lead. Casey Biotti in second. Ryan Kuhn third. Luke Shannon, pardon me, holding on with a little bit older tires. But he's still up in the top 4. Tegan Atkins is there. Jake Grout is there. Matt Huntington very quick in the 9s. Makita Giroux been up and down throughout the field a couple of times in that 36 car, currently running in 8th. Tydelphia, Hayden Bushy in the top 10. Mike Macaskill. Mike Macaskill. Up into the top 10. Nope, just kidding. 11th. Dropped down just outside of the top 10. He's had an up and down day in that 3 car. Lost a couple of laps, gained a couple of laps back, running P11 right now. Doesn't look like the car's too damaged. Dominic LaFleur. Same story for him in the 03 car. Up and down day, currently in 12th. JD Stockwell had a couple of mishaps. He's in 13th. Brandon Lambert back here in 14th. Justin Prescott, we just saw go around in the 04. He's back here in 15th. He's actually going to be the first car one lap down after being up in the top 5 for much of this race. Look at the color of that sky. My goodness. Race cars, racetracks, sunsets. Gorgeous. Green flag flies once again. Flashbulbs getting all the memories in the flashbangs. Whoa, big slide, big wide there for Biotti in the 45. Looks like the front 2 are going to get single file. Kuhn down on the bottom side. Shannon up in the high side, 4th, 3rd. Everybody up in the top 5, top 10 has a chance to win this race. There's a lot of quick drivers in this late model, Oil Boys iLate Model National Series Season 2 for these drivers, and they are really putting on a show here with us. Looking forward to hopefully getting, pardon me, as they get sideways, beating and banging on that outside wall, and they're still side by side. Grout going to complete the pass though on Luke Shannon. Oh, caution flag going to fly. Is some smoke out of somebody. Might have been okay. There it is. Ooh, wrong button. The 32 just not having a good day. I believe that was Stockwell on the other side of that. We'll back it up one more time and give it to you in full song here. That's 39 of Stockwood down on the bottom side, and you know, kind of that looks very similar to that last wreck where we just had a couple of drivers going for that outside line, just couldn't quite get there, or they both got there at the same time. But in any sense, there you see Prescott, the 04 car, getting the free pass. He's going to rejoin the lead lap. 12 cars now, 13 cars, check that, on the lead lap, and they are all chasing Kyle Goodbout in the number 92. The lights should go off. We should get one to go this time by, indeed we do. Casey Biotti up on the high side. Ryan Kuhn, Jake Grout, Tegan Atkins the top 5. Luke Shannon, Makita Giroux, easy enough for me to say. Tydelphia, Dominic LaFleur, and Brandon Lambert to top 10 as they restart here with 67 laps to go. 67. There, I did it. Green flag. Goodbout down on the bottom. Biotti up top. Flashbulbs up in the crowd. Not quite the starts we've seen out of those RKM setup shop drivers. They've been able to kind of get themselves away relatively quickly. Taking a little bit longer for these drivers to kind of get up there side by side. I say that there's 3 RKM setup shop drivers up in that top 4. Vidane's doing a great job up on the high side in that 45 car, having a monster run. Holding on to that middle groove, really making it work. Goodbout's able to hold on to the bottom side. Ooh, just off on the outside wall. That's the only thing you really got to worry about on that high side is when you drift up there in turn number 4, it can reach out and grab that car. And with these walls and with these race cars, it'll just grab it, hold on to it, and you won't be able to get away from it. You can see barely glazed at that time once again on the back straightaway. So really got to keep an eye on that because that'll upset your momentum as well. Every time you get up there and bump or boot the outside wall, it kind of throws everything off inside the car, inside your psyche, as you can see. A little bit wobbly that time by, so Kuhn's going to get the line, get the position, complete the pass. Looks like this time by. There he goes. Kuhn up to second. He's in the tire tracks now. There you saw up to the wall again for the 45 of Vidane's, but Kuhn's now going to set his sights on his teammate in the 92, a good bout. Front 4 drivers have pulled away by a bit. Little side-by-side action for that 5th spot. Tegan Atkins down low. Luke Shannon leaning on him in that 13 car. Briefly opened the door for Ty Delphia and the other 13 car right in behind there. You can see just how far back this is going on from behind our leaders here. On the high side, trying to hold on to that pass. There he does, down in front of the 88, holds on to 5th for the time being. These drivers know with 57 laps to go, pretty much single file throughout the field. A little calm before the storm action, if you will. There's Drew in the 36, recovery back up to 9th. Lambert in the 77. A couple drivers, I believe that was Prescott up on the outside wall. Nope, I lied. That was Macasco in the 3 up on the outside wall there. Great recovery for him, too. He's back up to 11th in that 3 car. It's Huntington, there's Prescott. Back up front, though, duking it out. Ryan Kuhn wants a piece of that lead. He wants it now. He's down to the bottom side of Goodbout. Goodbout in that 92 on the high side. You can see there he goes up. He just scuffs that outside. It's tough on that high side to really get that thing to turn left. There you can see close, but no cigar that time by. And you can see he was able to hold on to the momentum around the top. Sparks once again from the side of the 92 car as they go around. These guys are going to put on a show here for us. They build the setups, they practice them all week long, and they provide them for the league. So you know they're going to run good, and they're showing why their setups are worth looking at over at RKM Setup Shop. Ryan Kuhn down on the bottom side, trying to make that magic happen, trying to make that pass on the 92 a good bout. Nothing quite there, and you can see the bright green gloves on the hands of Ryan Kuhn. That's one of the things we love about real racing and sim racing, being able to see exactly what the hands are doing inside the car. And you can see relatively calm, but it's kind of a controlled chaos on the inside of this Ryan Kuhn machine. He knows exactly what this setup's got. He knows exactly what the setup under the hood is up in front of him. And that's his teammate. That's a guy he races with and practices with each and every week, multiple times a week. So he needs to know what he doesn't know what he needs to get around that Cinnamon Toast Crunch machine. You can see he is right there to the back bumper. He can get there, but it's another thing entirely to try and get around that 92 a good bout, especially up in clean air. We might run into some lap traffic, though, if this thing does stay green. So 46 laps to go. Keep that in the back of your mind. Kyle Goodbout up front. Ryan Kuhn all over the back bumper of the leader. Casey Beati back in the 45. He is running in the third spot. Jake Grout right on his bumper in the 49, and just a little bit further on back is this Hornets Nest for fifth. Luke Shannon holding on to it. Ty Delphia, Tegan Atkins, they both want that position. They're going to go 3 wide. How about the 03 car of Dominic Lafleur? Great recovery for him as well. Saw that car crumpled up earlier on this evening. He is doing very well trying to break back in to the top 5 here with 44 laps to go here at Southern Nationals. Back up front, still bumper to bumper between the 92 and the 72. Goodbout has it. Kuhn wants it. Nothing quite there, though, as he tucks into the tire tracks. You can see just really able to close up to the back bumper. Not quite enough momentum to get up and around or get down and around that 92 just yet. We'll see what he's got in store here for the final 40 laps. There you see Beati and Grout still duking it out for third and fourth, albeit they're a little bit more spread out this time by. That battle for fifth calmed down just a little bit. You can see the 3 all over the 13 of Ty Delphia. Luke Shannon, he's going to tuck back just a little bit further on. He's going to give it a break and see if he can get a little further up. Prescott Huntington there side by side, albeit they are separated by a lap or two. Huntington, the first car, 1 lap down in the 99 car. You see the pole sitter, Hayden Bushi in the 15. Also a lap down, trying to get around that 99 car for position. But up front, still side by side. Well, they're side by side once again, I should say. Leaning on each other coming out of turn number 4. Kuhn on the bottom in the 72. Goodbout in the 92 up on top. Once again, these guys teammates. These guys build the setup and supply them to this league. So they've got extra laps on the setup, building it and learning it and studying it. They don't have to worry about what the car's going to do. They know exactly what it's going to do. They're on the same tire strategy as each other as well. So they're going to be duking it out for the lead here with 36, 35 to go once we cross the stripe. There's McIskull in the 3 car. Lap traffic going to go high. You can see had to single file out the leaders for the time being. You can see Beati in the 45 car. He's gotten away from Jake Rout a little bit in that 49 car. He's going to try and reel these 2 leaders in and maybe capitalize on a mistake if these guys have it. But there you can see there's some lap traffic going on up in front of our 2 leaders, and I think Ryan Kuhn sees that. He is trying to take every opportunity to get up in front of this 92 car as quickly as he can and then try and utilize that lap traffic almost as a pick or as a blocker to keep the 92 in behind him. But here you see it. They are just side by side. Once again, kudos to these guys that put these setups together, because they know exactly what they're going to be able to do on both the high side and the bottom side. And these guys have been racing and duking it out for about 15, 20 laps now for the lead. I believe that's Riley McVetti in the 25 car in danger of going down a lap, as is Wheeler in the 92 right in front of him. That's a 77 off into the distance. So still side by side, a couple of trifecta lap cars up in front, and you can see neither one of these guys are budging just yet. It's almost like a game of chicken to see where the lap cars are going to go and then where the lead lap cars are going to go. But Kuhn down on the bottom side, it looks like they're both going to go high. McVetti's going to go down on the apron, let these guys by. He doesn't want to deal with it. Wheeler's going to go on the high side all the way up to the outside wall, let those guys by. They're still side by side as they slice through this lap traffic, oh, by the way. Beati's going to get through. He is in behind. He gained a little bit of time, it looks like, as these guys get through. But there you see, 3 wide through it. They've got now a lap or 2 before I think they catch the next couple of cars. Ryan Kuhn almost able to complete the pass, not quite, even at the line. 28 to go. You can see just getting into the corners. Kuhn has that momentum, but as they power on around, the 92 a Goodbout able to really drive into the corner, drive off the corner. There you see it once again. Advantage Kuhn in the 72. That time by on the 70 on the bottom side of the racetrack. And all in the meantime, you can see that lead is shrinking back to third, 9/10 of a second, now 8/10 of a second. Back to Beati. Kuhn is going to complete the pass. There you see it, 92, now in the tire tracks of the 72. And there you see Casey Beati trying to reel these leaders in. Relatively cool, calm, and collected around the racetrack as we get close into this one. Look at that nighttime sky here at Southern National Speedway. Drivers came in, they had to worry about the sun glare there in turn number 1, but not having to worry about it right now, just having to worry about the glare of the flash bulbs of the fans. And you can see there is a slew of lap traffic up in front of our current leader, Ryan Kuhn, in the 72 car. And he's got about 20 laps to get it done. There you can see that's off the nose of the 72 car because we clicked on the wrong camera because it's live TV. That's how we do. There's that onboard shot. He's 7/10 of a second, 8/10 of a second over the leader now of Kyle Goodbow. So ever driving side by side down in the bottom side, it almost seems like the 92 might have used up some of his stuff on the high side. There you see Ryan Kuhn making easy work of the lap traffic. Lap traffic given extra respect. They know the leader's coming through. I believe he's the points leader in the overall series championship as well. With 18 laps to go, Ryan Kuhn putting in work. Actually, a car cushion now between Kuhn and the 92 of Goodbout. Goodbout still has to get around the 62 car back there. So this is almost, if you have to deal with lap traffic, this is almost exactly what you want to have to deal with as the leader. Each car just kind of one by one, get on around, everybody's going to let you on by. Now you've got a bit of a cushion because the guy that you're racing has to go around those same cars. And you can see it's a bit of a gap now, 1.2 seconds between the 72 and the 92, but still more lap traffic up ahead. Macaskill and the 3 car going to go up on the high side, let everybody up and around. 72 going to get down on by, still side by side up in front of him. I believe that's Prescott in the 04. Indeed it is, and Huntington in the 99. You can see they are beating and banging back there just a little bit further on back to try and get on or around. And that is nerve-wracking if you're the second place driver of Kyle Goodbout because you're just trying to get around all this. You might not need to. Caution flag flies for the 15 car of Hayden Bushy, the pole sitter for the main event of the show here tonight. And currently 2 laps down. Looks like might have had just a little bit of a bump ski there from the 62, but we'll take a peek at it. There you see on the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Everything looks good getting into the corners. A little bit of damage on the 15 car. Just kind of gets in there and gets the shot from the 62. Up into the outside wall. Couple of soft hits. But no real damage, it looks like, for the 15. Able to grab a gear and get rolling once again. You can see going to tuck in to the 14th spot. Currently 2 laps down behind Wheeler. '77 car getting a free pass, driving on around. That's going to leave us 10, 11 cars on the lead lap. 10 cars. Looks like the 99 going to call it, nope, back out on track. 11 cars on the lead lap. Timing and scoring, doing that fun live TV thing that it likes to do. But going to get the restart with it. Looks like about 8 laps to go. Ryan Kuhn up front. Kyle Goodbout in second. You guys have been putting on a clinic here for us. A little side-by-side racing for about 30 laps before they finally figured it out. Philadelphia in third, Casey Beati in fourth, Tegan Atkins in fifth, Dominic LaFleur, Luke Shannon, Jake Grout, Justin Prescott, Brandon Lambert. Going to be the top 10 as they run. Lights out on the pace car. Going to be taking that hard left-hand turn to the safety of pit road for what could be, potentially, just maybe, our final restart of the evening. Good jump there for the 72 of Ryan Kuhn. He's going to slide up after the start-finish line in front of the 92 car. Goodbout going to try and close that gap. There you see Beati going to try and get it single file here as well. Knows he needs to move. There is no time. Once these drivers get into a rhythm, the race is going to be over. Ryan Kuhn driving off into the sunset. Beati easily driving into that second position, up into the outside wall again. A couple of drivers in behind going to do the same thing. Doesn't seem to slow anybody down. We stay clean. We stay green. 6 laps to go. Now 5 laps to go for Ryan Kuhn in the 72 car. He has a mirror full now of that 45 of Beati. Does Beati have enough time to get around him? I see he can get there. Does he have enough time to get around him? 4 laps to go. He is there in a big way. Casey Beati just looks like he may have come down pit road a couple of caution flags ago to grab some fresh tires in that 45 car. Missed it completely because we were looking at the replay. He's going to drive around Ryan Kuhn in that 72 car with ease. Ryan's going to do everything he can to try and get that lead back, but that's going to be popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go for Casey Beati in the 45. Caution flag, though, going to fly. Or I believe it could have been the 77, maybe. Nope, 77's just not having a good day. Might have backed the replay up just a little bit too much. But that is indeed going to give us a green-white checkered finish. A restart attempt, in any sense. Casey Beati in the 45 car. Just taking that lead over after getting some fresh tires on that 45 machine. Ryan Kuhn, Tegan Atkins, Kyle Goodbout, and Luke Shannon, the top 5. One to go. Lights off on the iRacing pace car. Beati's going to take the bottom side on the restart. Ryan Kuhn going to be up top. Tegan Atkins, Kyle Goodbout, Justin Prescott going to be the top 5. Green, green, green. Restart once again for what could be the final time. There's Beati down on the bottom side doing everything he can to hold off Ryan Kuhn in the 72. 72 goes wide, but stays right there with him. They're still side by side as they come out of turn number 4. Big momentum for Kuhn on the outside. Big run. That's going to be the white flag. Last lap for Beati. 72 up into the outside wall. Can he hold on? Casey Beati down into the bottom side for the final time in 3 and 4 at the line. Beati in the 45 going to come home with the checkered flag. My goodness, what a race, what a finish. And what a way to cap off the Triple Crown. We will get the official points for that hooked up on the Facebook pages and get everything all squared away with that. But how about it for Casey Beati going to come home with the victory? We'll talk to him momentarily. We'll see if we can catch up with our third place winner, though. Third place finisher, Tegan Atkins, quick all night in that 88. What did that last restart look like through your windshield?
Oh man, I've just been cruising the whole race. After last week, it just was a mess. I got wrecked a couple times and used up my fast repair and ended up leaving. But that last restart tonight, man, I knew the bottom wasn't the place to be. I knew I had newer tires than Goodbout, so I knew I could, maybe hold him off on the bottom. And I just put the pedal down and drove the hardest that I have all race, and somehow came home with third.
Solid run here tonight in that 88 car. Anybody out there watching want to give a shout out to?
My dad, he's watching. He loves watching me every week. When I'm not racing real life, he likes watching me on here just to give him something to do. And other than that, I mean, I got a couple people watching. Jane's Elite Detailing, he hopped on this year. He's been awesome. Jacob Burt Car Sales, Morgan Construction, just everybody.
Absolutely, man. Great run here tonight. Congratulations, P3.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And we will slide down pit road just a little bit further on. We'll talk to this guy a handful of time here on Tuesday nights here at VidaneTV. Ryan Kuhn going to come home in second. Looks like he got beat by tires here.
Yeah, it was a gamble. If I pitted, nobody else would. If I stayed out, everyone else would pitted. So that's kind of the game that played out. But it is what it is. And I felt really really good tonight. Just got in a rhythm late in the race. Kind of saved my tire a little bit behind Goodbout, and then there's just time to go, and was able to get around him. Took a while, but I was able to get around him. He got a little tight, and I was able to clear him. So Um, no, all in all, it was a fun race. Good win to Biotti. He did a great job. Good job playing the gamble right. And uh, yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. It was very clean. Probably the best race of the season, in my opinion. I'm sure everybody else would agree. Everyone kept their composure and kept it really really clean tonight. So appreciate that out of everybody. And yeah, I had a fun night.
Now, you and your teammates, you and your guys with Architect Cam Setup Shop, you've got a lot of laps on the simulator. What can folks out there do that if they're maybe new to the sim or they're looking to get a little bit better? How can they get a hold of some of these setups that you guys work on?
Yeah, rkmsetupshop.com. That's where we sell the setups, and a lot of it, we do a lot of driver coaching too as well. So, and a lot of getting good in this car. I tell everybody with the late model stock, it's the easiest and the hardest car to drive. It's easy because it's got a lot of grip, but it's hard to, you know, stay consistent and save tire and everything else. It's all about rhythm, and if you lose that rhythm in this car, it's game over. So, um, but yeah, rkmsetupshop.com. That's what we do. All of our open setups for the official series and miscellaneous league stuff. So, um, yeah,
Anybody else out there you want to give a shout out to? Anybody else out there watching?
yeah, absolutely. My real life sponsors: Everett's Auto Parts, Modern Auto Body, Coastal Heritage Bank, 01 Designs, uh, Doug Reinbold for the opportunities this year in the late model ranks at Seekonk, um, and everyone who's really helped me get to this point in my career.
Solid run tonight. Ryan Kuhn finishes P2 in the 72 machine.
Thank you guys.
And still burning them down over there in Victory Lane, it looks like. I mean, we are watching the tape in slow motion here on VidaneTV, but still burning them down. Tonight's winner, Casey Biotti, got the last name right and everything. Casey, what's going through your mind right now, man? Big win tonight.
I mean, this Postal Lumber Creative Counters, Trahan Towing, MRM Landscape and Fence machine was on rails tonight. Missed the start because we needed a little bit of bathroom break at the beginning, and just played the cards right, coming up through the field, saving tire, and there at the end, I knew if we didn't pit, it was gonna be we were finishing third. At that point, we were the third best race car, and I was like, either we're gonna go for broke here. So it played in our favor, and extremely happy to finally knock one down this year.
Making it look easy at the end with those fresh tires as well. And great shout out to the pit crews, the virtual pit crews, in any sense. Anybody out there watching who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Postal Lumber Creative Counters, Trahan Towing, MRM Landscape's been Fence, RKM Setup Shop. I've spent a lot of time on the sim with Ryan and all the guys, and we all make each other better and push each other to the higher standards. So got to thank them. Got to thank you for broadcasting this. Got to thank Kason for putting it on, and tonight's sponsor.
That's right, coming home with the W in that 45 camp, and you heard it, steel sharpens steel in the sim racing world, just like it does in real racing. So definitely check out those RKM Setup Shops, rkmsetupshop.com, sponsoring the setups for the league this year. But that's going to do it here for us on VidaneTV. We're back here at Bristol this Thursday night with the NAP Super Truck Series as they get closer and closer to crowning themselves a champion. One more race to go here in the Oil Boys iLM National Series. Going to be the new Smyrna 150 here in a couple of weeks' time. That's going to be live here on VidaneTV. We will catch you on the flip side, and when we do, we will be doing it live.